Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, everybody, let me see here. You know how it is with me on Mondays. First of all, I'm old. Second of all, it has been a long weekend. Now I got to get me. Hold on. I know you guys can't see me yet, but you can hear me. I know that much. And there, there we go. Hey, 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 hey. How are you? Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris. Wait a minute, where's all my other stuff? I gotta get that up there. I'll be out of business. I gotta get my sponsor on here. There we go. And where is my hold on, you guys. One day you guys won't be laughing at me about this because hopefully one day I'll be on a network where I won't have to do all the work myself, right? Can I get a name, man? Thank you so much. Now, I'm looking on the screen and I'm wondering why. Oh, because I just did updates. Okay, there we go. There. Everything's everything. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hey, how are you? Happy Monday, everybody. How was your weekend? Um, it was just all over the place for us here in the Chicagoland area. I had my event this weekend. It was a sellout. It was, thank you, Jesus. There's the Bella Purpose. That Okay, let me just tell you all about the Bella Purpose. Here it is. Here's the Bella Purpose. And I'm so full of it today. I don't mean that in a bad way. I heard you. Take it back. I am so full of the spirit today, you guys. I have the Bella Purpose and her sister. I got both of them up here today because I'm going to tell you what happened. People flew in from all over the country this weekend. We had them from New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Texas, just to name a few. We got together Saturday at the White Eagle Country Club here in Naperville, and we had what a wonderful day we had. That's all I can say. Discovering the author and the speaker in you was a huge success. We're already talking about taking it to several more states, like in the next 45 days. So I'll keep you in tune with that. So we had a great time. Our house was full of guests. Me and this knee. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Um, 4 weeks ago tomorrow, I was under the knife, and here I am. It's completely healed. Yeah, I was hobbling a little bit on it all day, on stage. But thank you, God. Everything is great. I was a little bit tired, but man, we had a great fellowship here at the house. That night, everybody came, and great relationships, friendships that I know will last a lifetime were forged right under this roof. So we want to thank all of you for your support. And right now, remember that we are streaming live. That's right, LIVE, across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Periscope, and of course, on the wonderful platform as known as E360 TV Live. Hundreds of thousands of homes every morning, and thank God one of them is yours. I want to say, hey, 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 and a shout out to my predecessor, my good friend, my co-host on the network, Joshua T. Berglund, whose show, Gratitude Unfiltered, airs right before this one. So get up an hour early, won't you? Even if it's just every now and then, and tune in and watch Gratitude Unfiltered. What better way to start your day than with the spirit of gratitude? I also want to say thank you right now to our sponsor. This is the last day. Oh, we have a new sponsor starting tomorrow, which is symposium.us, the app. And we're going to tell you all about them starting tomorrow. But thank you for a great 15-day run to Personal Victory Counseling, where Dr. Brian Rybczynski and his team are helping people overcome and be triumphant over life's challenges one day at a time. To reach them, simply dial 630-375-7416, or if you're more of a digital web person, hit them up at personalvictorycounseling.com. Thank you again to Personal Victory Counseling. Good morning, Carol Rogers. You were there. She was our registration coordinator at the front of the facility on Saturday. Thank you, Carol. She came over for the party afterwards. We had a great time. everybody, the last people left last night. We had 2 airport runs last night, and everybody got out of here, and we came home and collapsed pretty much. But welcome to the show, won't you? My sidekick, my best gal, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's in the house, and we're sipping on some salted caramel coffee. And yes, because my leg is feeling better, I go back to the gym this week. I get to drive starting today for the first time. So I am back to my smoothies, right? We're going to get healthy in 2020, y'all. And we're going to get our minds right today. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I know, I know, I know, I know. You are too, right? That was supposed to be the Pointer Sisters. Today's guest, her name is Lanice McGee. Now I'm gonna skip around because her bio is like this long. Okay, this long. She's got that many different things, and so I'm gonna really just give you the Reader's Digest version, and then we're gonna let her tell us more about all that when she gets in there. Is that okay with you? There you go. Lanice McGee. She's grateful for the opportunity to serve individuals during their time of transition. Now that's one of the things. Let me highlight that because I want to ask her what she means. Because at first I was like, wait a minute. Is she administering last rites to people? Am I going to hear the upper room? No, I don't think she means that kind of transition, but we're going to find out. Now, uh, if she starts saying, coming to the light, Loren, coming to the light, I'm pulling the plug. I'm just letting y'all know. It was not long. There's a bell of purpose. It was not long before she recognized that she was born to lead. And knowing so, she pursued her bachelor's in arts in sociology. Ooh, Fisk University. I love Fisk University. I considered that school once upon a time. I think they had horse and buggies when I was going to try to go there, down in Nashville, Tennessee. And she's continuing on the road to she's attaining a Master's of Science degree in the field of human services from Springfield College. She's got 16 years of experience, and currently she serves as the district director for the Department of Workforce Development in some counties that sound like they're in Wisconsin, because I know those Wakakushis and Kakalukis and all that. I can't say it, so I'm gonna let her do it. Um, and she looks at her career as an opportunity to support and serve others, both staff and customers, as they discover their goals and purpose through work. So, and she's got a whole bunch of other stuff. So let me quit trying to figure out what all these acronyms mean, and get Lanice in here. And so let me see. Here she is here. Um, bear with me. I got a lot of clicking and stuff to do. Bring this over here. Where you at, Lanice? Okay. Um, wait a minute. Add to okay. She's on this. I got her on one screen, y'all. Okay, y'all don't know. This is like I feel like I'm in the Town offices. Uh, see all the stuff on the screen you have to do to make this work. Give me in about 6 more months, and I'll be click, 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 click. But for now, that's right. Just like I text, one letter at a time. I sure do. Um, Now she's there. Now I'm okay. Here she comes. Oh, here she comes, the niece. Oh, I wrote her a theme song. I'm even trying to. Okay, hold on. She's in the air, million little pieces on her way over to the screen. I wonder what that actually feels like, but she's coming, and I'm really excited. Oh, there she is. Now she's on the output. Now she's gonna pop up over here. Say hi.
Hello,
Now I want
everyone.
to see where is. Oh, here. Let me put that back. Say hi, Lanice.
Hi, happy Monday, everyone.
Okay, you're on the screen and we're live across the world. Oh, is that fur on your? What is that? No, oh, that's hair back there. What is that?
This is hair.
Oh, okay. The way it was spread out, I said she got a fur coat.
Yay. We can
Yay.
flip it. We can do a little different things with it.
Yes, you look absolutely awesome. I'm loving that couch.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, where are you in the world?
I am talking to you all from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Woo!
Walking. Look, she tried to make that sound exciting. Okay, we're
I'm
with you.
here, so I bring
Woo!
the party wherever I go, okay?
Okay, right. So, is it cold there?
Um,
Uh-huh. That's a
Did you
yes.
have trouble getting me on today?
No. Why? Why is it cold? Really cold?
Yes, it's cold. Definitely, it's cold.
You know, it was so cold here over the weekend. Saturday morning, my husband's car wouldn't start. And that's a Toyota, a Camry. You don't usually have any trouble with them.
Right. Those are
But
dependable.
that's right. But his car, we had to go. I had to order a new battery because it was below zero here. And his car said, I'm sleeping. So it was really cold. It's better now. Did you guys get below zero over the weekend there in
Oh
Wisconsin?
yeah. We
Yeah.
got negative something.
Mm,
I'm used to it now. I don't well actually I don't know if you ever get used to it. You just adjust.
I don't. We
So
don't. We act like, but sometimes I don't know if I would rather be cold and can put on stuff or hot and take it off. You know what I mean? I mean, back in the day when I was my stage name was Chocolate Thunder, I didn't have no problem taking it off.
yeah,
But
they had a song for it. Take it off.
okay, back when my stage name was Chocolate Thunder, which it ain't no more. Now it's Chocolate Blunder. So I can't even go that way. People say, put that back on. Oh, So anyway, Lanice, you do so many different things, but just describe in layman's terms what it is that gets you up every day and who are the people that you're helping and why is it so important to you? And then we're gonna get going.
Okay. Well, thank you again. I'm so grateful to be here and to be able to share. My name is Lanice McGee. I'm from Lanice Leads, and basically, I bring inspirational content to encourage your heart to take the
Mhm.
necessary steps to move forward. And so, understanding that whatever I do and wherever I go, that is my mission and my goal. So, I didn't always know that. It took me a while to get there, but whatever I do needs to line up to that purpose. So, in my professional work world, I help people connect to their next level of employment. People who maybe got laid off or whatever the reason they are no longer connected to their employment,
Mhm.
we help them connect to that next opportunity. I also am the co-founder of an organization called Big, Beautiful, and Blessed. And so in that, we help connect women to love the skin they're in, to
Mm.
embrace who they are right at this moment and love every moment of that. I also am the founder of an organization called Future Entrepreneurs Moving Ahead, where I mentor youth to discover what entrepreneurship could look like, to take their skills and their hobbies and how can they find legal ways at a young age to learn to get
Mm.
those skills to make an income, to get those skills to learn to be leaders and thinkers and creators, because they already are, but how can we form that in a way that is very productive for them? And so everything I do, it has to line up to that for it to make sense for me.
Awesome.
So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. So, I get it now because I remember because I'm all the way into June booking people for this show, right?
Yes.
So first I was like this morning, because there's a whole bunch going on. I got a funeral this week, two
Oh,
of them. My brother-in-law and his brother, they both died on the same day last weekend.
sorry to
One
hear
my
that.
brother-in-law was a suicide. Yes.
Oh
So
my
we got
goodness.
all that. So I was sitting up here going this morning. First of all, it was 20 minutes till, and my husband and I are sitting down there at the kitchen table. He's got hot chocolate and I've got coffee, and we're like, ah. And then I said, wait a minute, what day is it? He said, Monday. I said, I got a show in 10 minutes. Right. So I got up, ran, all this stuff. So I apologize. But the first thing that hit me was, I get it now. You sent me your work bio, but that isn't the thing that ain't the bio that caught my eye with you. It was that other stuff. Cause I don't
Mhm,
even know how we found each other, which is not unusual because God chooses you for me and me for you, and I don't question it. I don't try to remember where.
mhm,
I'm just glad we're here. And so here's the deal. Let's go to the place before we get into these. I want to get into the youth program, your
mhm,
stuff. Enough about who you work for, because we have you here today to celebrate you and
yes,
all these beautiful things that have come to you on their way through you. And we're
mhm,
talking about big and beautiful. We're talking about big, beautiful, and blessed. We're talking about your future entrepreneurs moving ahead, FEMA. Um, but I know And a lot of you all out there watching today, and good morning to all of you. Robert Brooker in Canada. Karen, how are you on the East Coast, and the rest of you? I know that in order to be passionate and successful with these types of things, you have to first be an authority on these types of things. So
Mhm.
why don't you tell us, start where you're comfortable, take us back, because I know, take us back. Let's start with, I think they're interconnected, the youth, desire, and the big and beautiful thing.
Mhm.
Take us back to when you were that kid,
Yeah.
because you went through something
Hmm.
in order to get to this something.
Yes.
And that's why, because the deeper the pain, the louder the
Mhm.
voice. And
Yeah.
I hear you screaming at the top of your lungs. So
Hmm.
you know what? Everything we went through, like I was just listening to her yesterday morning. Fantasia. It was necessary. It was
Yes.
necessary.
Hmm.
Every pain we went through, it was necessary. So tell us the pains you went through that were necessary.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's a really awesome question. And to be honest, what I believe is a lot of us have sight but no vision, right?
Mm,
So growing up, I had sight, but I did not have vision for my life.
mm,
And I did not know my purpose. I did not know where I was going because, again, I was just existing, and not really living and not being intentional about the things that I was doing because I just didn't know what to do. And so that's kind of where my passion has come from, and my pain comes from when I figured it out,
mm-hmm,
realizing there are so many people that hasn't figured it out yet, and
mm-hmm,
that it took me into my late 30s to kind of figure it out. And I'm still honing in on that. And now I'm 41 and I'm still honing in on that. And so that's really where the pain came from. Like, how many people have sight and no vision for their life, no purpose for their life. They're not intentional about the things that they're doing. They're just living either just because I'm here and so I'm just going to live, or I'm living somebody else's dream, or,
mm-hmm.
or they go to, unfortunately, the grave just with thoughts in their hearts and things in their hearts that they never live out because they're too afraid, to do those things. They allow the fear of failure to forfeit their future. Okay. And so that's kind of where my pain comes from, because growing up being young, I was um, raised by a beautiful mother, and I have a sister, and was raised in a domestic violence situation where I witnessed things that were that young people should not witness and see.
Mm,
So growing up, not really loving myself, not understanding my value, not understanding my worth, and all that ties into the big, beautiful, and blessed piece. Okay, so growing up with my vision of my reality of what worth is, self worth is, of
yeah.
my understanding of how a male treats children, how he treats a woman, things of that nature, and not having a voice. And so, or not recognizing how to use my voice, should I say that? I always
Okay.
had it. I didn't know the power or how to use it, or the platform or the opportunities to use it. And so that's kind of where my pain, if you say, came from, just realizing that, and then being young and having talent, being really into theater, things of that nature, and being quite creative, but not knowing what to do with it. And then in a household where my mom had her own pain, trying to figure out her own purpose while trying to love me and be a good mother. And so she did the best she had with the resources that she was extended. And so just knowing that gave me the push to do different things. But how I came about my purpose was still not knowing. Okay. And
Mm,
so what I did was I served to purpose. And so wherever my hands could lay and I could
mm,
serve others, in my serving, the platforms were created.
mm-hmm,
And so sometimes that's what I encourage people. If you don't know what you need to do yet, if you haven't figured out what do you enjoy doing, serve somebody else.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And in serving somebody else, you might go ahead and discover yourself, because that's what ended up happening with me. How I started with the youth, I was volunteering at an event that helped adults who were entrepreneurs set up their event, set up their business. I had no desire to do this at all. but I started doing this and I enjoyed it. And the person who was over this always had a desire for youth to um, display there. And she can never quite get the right fit for that. And then one day I was just driving and I liked the youth. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
and I loved helping the adults set up. And I'm like, when I was young, I could have had a business if somebody would have exposed me to that.
Right.
And so that's where Future Entrepreneurs was born. Me serving someone else and seeing a need and knowing that I had the capability, the desire, and the passion to fulfill it. Then I did it. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing it now for 4 years. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm passionate about it. And it lines up to everything else that I do, which is connecting people to their purpose.
Okay. I'm a
Mhm.
butt in. I'm a butt
Go
in.
ahead, because I can get it going,
I'm butting in because, let me just say to everyone out there watching, you all know, if you don't, here you go. You know that this is right here, the bell of purpose. Now, what this is new this season. This bell means that when our guest or one of you pops something on the screen or it comes out of our guest's mouth, something that they're dropping off that we know we're ready to pick it up, we're going to get behind it. This is the equivalent of, can I get an amen in here? Okay. And this bell is itching to ring. So I'm coming back around. Take a deep breath, Miss Lanice, because I'm about to ask you something.
Okay.
Because you did, and I get it. But here on Bathrobe Moments, hi, Geetha Christian, and how are you? Here on Bathrobe Moments, this is a safe zone where we respect each other. We come and it's real people, real talk about real issues. That's why it's called illuminating conversations. We need to turn the
Yes.
light on and help somebody who's still in some form of darkness somewhere where we've
Hmm.
already made it through. And so
Yeah.
that 50-yard dash you did past when you said and I get it. When you said I saw things in this domestic violence relationship. I saw things that
Mhm.
children should not see.
Yeah.
Um, one of the positive things about things you should not see is that when it comes to serving others, you can't unsee it. And
That's
that's
so
not, and
true.
that's not to be some kind of a curse. That's so
Mhm.
that you can look in the rearview mirror of where you've been to be able to pull it forward every now and then, like today. Because
Mhm.
right now there could be someone listening, someone coming down the pipe tomorrow or later today on the replay that is locked in thinking there's no way out, that I will never be able to make it beyond
Mhm.
today or what I'm living today in this domestic violence thing. But here is Lanice ready to say, oh, yes, you can. Yes, you
Yeah.
can. So, Lanice, go back and can you put a face on the experience that you kind of um,
Mhm.
went by? And we don't need names and this and the other, but grab us right here and pull us right back into one of those scenes
Yes.
because and here's why, because we're looking at the Lanice that was crafted as a result of every day you've ever lived,
Yep.
and right now there is a young form of you who we need to celebrate today because she and all
Mhm.
of her predecessors, every one of them, the 7-year-old, the 8-year
Mhm.
old, the 13-year-old, every one of those Lanises had a tongue and they helped you form decisions. They whispered encouragement to you to say, we're going to make it, we're going to get you through. And every one of them gave you a set of shoulders that you stand on today.
Right.
So go back and introduce us, if you will, to whichever one of those or a couple of those
Okay.
younger nieces, and let's celebrate what they got you through.
So I'll go back to the Lanice that didn't realize she had a voice. Okay.
Okay.
And so that was growing up in a situation where I dealt with where I seen domestic violence, and it definitely had a huge impact. Again, um, it taught me that you are to be seen and not heard. It taught me that nothing you ever do is good enough. It taught me that you'll get in trouble if you don't align up to something, some set of standard, that standard that you might not even know what that standard is. And
Hmm.
so I had all of this residue on my life that I didn't realize that my thoughts and my patterns was that way based upon my upbringing, based upon what you, like you said, the things you can't unsee. but I had to unlearn them. And I didn't realize that I had to unlearn them until I got older and I started seeing the patterns again in my life. And I had to realize, do I want to stay in this situation? And why am I in this situation? And so
So did you see, was someone else the victim of the, because I keep thinking it was your mom.
it's my mom. Yep.
Okay.
And so I'm
And
going to go a little bit into that.
okay. And it was a
So,
boyfriend,
yes, it
not a
was
husband, not a daddy.
no, but
I knew that.
he raised me
Okay.
from 6 months until I was 11. At
Wow.
9 years old is when I found out that this man was not my father. And as soon as I found that out, I no longer called him dad. I started calling him by his name
Ooh.
because I wanted to detach myself as much at a 9-year-old mindset. I was so thankful that his blood did not run through my veins. And so I no longer called him dad. I called him by his name. And I hated this man, okay? I
Wow.
hated what I seen that he did to my mom. I hated how he made her feel. I carried the weight of I wanted to protect my mother. And when I was young, I would soil myself, right?
Mhm.
And because I had all this trauma that I was dealing with, and I didn't know how to carry it, and I didn't know how to deal with it, and I didn't know how to handle it.
Mm.
And so the waking point for my mother was when I was 11 years old. I had started sleepwalking. I don't know how old I was. I might have been around 10 or something when I started sleepwalking. I would wake up, make sandwiches. I would do all this kind of stuff,
Wow.
sleepwalking. And I sleptwalk with a knife and I tried to kill my this man that was abusing my mother. And my mother woke up, grabbed the knife out of my hand,
Dang.
and put me back to sleep. She knew that was her shift, that if I don't leave, something horrible is going to happen. That's when she visually seen the effects that it was having on her children, on me particularly. And so that's when she decided that I have to leave no matter if I don't know how to leave. And so that was the shifting point where she left. Now, she left and things changed. She did not go back to him. She did anything on the side or whatever. I didn't know anything about it. I did not have a
Mm.
relationship with him afterwards. This is my sister's father though, but I didn't have a relationship with
Oh,
him at all
okay.
after that. Okay. But as growing up as an adult, what I ended up, and this is, I'm sharing what I found out now. What I found out was I was constantly dating people that was, I'll just call him my stepfather just for ease of conversation. That
Yeah.
was my stepfather. Okay.
Right. Right.
I kept doing this, and I'm like, later when I realized what I was doing, I didn't understand that I was just drawn to that type of relationship because that's where my comfortability was.
It was what you were used to.
It's what I was used to. It's what I understood. It was a language that I understood. It was a language that I could communicate with, and I accepted it as my own because I didn't have any self-worth. I didn't
Right.
I didn't understand it. And
Let me ask you something because I
mhm,
find it very interesting, and I know that that probably could be a show in and of itself. The
yeah.
sleepwalking.
Yes.
What did you ever did anyone ever did you go and get professional counseling about that? What and did it end after he was out of the picture? Talk about that for a minute because
Yeah.
that's like an extension
Yes, it
that
is.
of something like when something takes over to protect
Mhm.
you from like almost when people have multiple personalities. That's
Right.
a way of coping.
Yeah.
When
So
things get deep.
So it did not stop right away.
Okay.
When we moved, I still was sleepwalking. I remember I slept walk like outside, and I don't know how my mom found me or
Dang.
whatever, but she got me and came back in. But I ended up going to counseling. It wasn't necessarily for the sleepwalking, but it was
Yeah.
just for everything that I had been through,
Uh-huh.
and so I did stop after a while. So I'm associating that me being able to verbalize and talk about the things that I went through, the things that I've seen, and really getting
Yeah.
through that and feeling a safety. So I had issues with trust. I had issues with feeling safe because I never knew, like, is he going to come and act a fool? What's gonna happen today? I remember once he was giving he was disciplining me, and I don't even want to use a disciplining, but he just started, really going in on me because I colored on the door, and
Hmm.
my mother jumped in and stopped him because it was so horrible. But then he went in on her, and I had carried that guilt, like, if I just want to colored on the door,
Right.
carrying things that a young person should not have to carry.
Right.
And so it was just all those things, and I ended up writing. I've written books and things like that because writing is so freeing and releasing, and I believe writing gives you the opportunity to share your story and not someone else to interpret it.
Right.
So it was just freeing for me, and that helped me as well.
So, okay, so wow. I have a feeling I want to ask you too, because you said you made sandwiches and everything while you were sleepwalking.
I was
Well,
hungry.
I remember watching an Oprah show way back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, and Oprah had a thing on there about sleep eating. And there were people, I didn't know you could do that. And people would get up and make entire meals and stuff in their sleep and eat them. And they said it was dangerous because, they can choke and all kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So did you ever consume any of the stuff you made while you were sleepwalking?
No, I made a sandwich and things like that. And it has to do with comfort. Food is comforting. And so that
Mhm.
was, I was young. I didn't have any other habits or anything like that.
Mhm.
So it was through food that I found comfort. So it
Okay.
doesn't surprise me that at a young age, food is where I went to, and food is what I could trust, and food is what comfort me. But I never ended up like
Okay.
choking or getting
Okay.
hurt or anything
So
like
that was
that.
a bridge to, okay, so now we know, okay.
I had control over that.
Right, right. So that's a great segue right here to take us into what I believe is the um motivation for the big, beautiful, and blessed. So I'm assuming you used food to comfort yourself as you were getting through all these things, picking people that resembled your stepfather. Um,
Mhm.
and so you turn to food, and so now come the body image issues.
Mhm.
And okay, so talk about
So,
you and that and how, yeah, yeah, tell us about that.
actually, growing up, I was slim. I
Okay.
I never really was a plus size woman until I was probably out of college. So although, because I'm 6 foot, so I'm tall, so I carry my
Oh,
weight well.
okay.
But when I got older, um, I did gain the weight. And how Big Beautiful and Blessed came about was I was at an event with a friend, and the lady asked about something. Long story short, it's because this is me and my partner's business. She actually had the vision, and because she always wanted to be in she wanted to be in one of those sexy type of woo 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 type of
Uh-huh.
calendars. And the guy told her she had a pretty face, but she was too fat. And so that infuriated me. I mean, I really got mad about that. I was like, how dare, and that's the kind of part I get fire under my, like, in my belly about that.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I said, and she's very quiet and very reserved. And I said, oh, is that so? And so now, we're living the Christian life and everything. So we're not gonna be in a va va voom type of calendar.
Right.
I That night I went home, I wrote down, because she already had a name, Big Beautiful and Blessed. So I created, again, I was creative. I created a logo for it. I called a photographer I knew. I made a flyer, did a model call, and I called her and I said, guess what? We finna start this organization called Big Beautiful and Blessed. She was like, what are you doing? And the funny thing, I'm not gonna go into the whole story, but God
Mhm.
set it up beforehand because um long story short, I did a fundraiser for my job, and I decided to put a calendar together.
Okay.
And so it taught me how to do all of this. And so, but I said, let's make it a calendar with a mission. And she was down for that. I said, so let's give back and let the women share their testimonies, because it should be more than just taking pictures. It should be some place that they can come and they can get free and they can love themselves. And so
Mm.
my issue although yes, I was plus size and things like that, my issue had to deal with self-worth. My issue had to deal with, yes, I might not have um embraced my body and all that, but that wasn't necessary. It was a mindset issue that I had. It
Hmm.
was not telling myself that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy and things of that nature, which helps with Big Beautiful and Blessed, because a lot of times women issue is their weight, and then there's other layers to that.
Hmm.
And so when they come to the organization, they're coming because they want to be a model. But something we put in place is that at the rehearsals, because we have a big fashion show with it and all that, we do empowerment, 15 minutes of empowerment before we go into rehearsals, where we're dealing with whatever issues you have going on. Then we have somebody that's there to pray with them. And we do things just to love on the women, so that this is more than just you being in a calendar. We want you to leave and be restored and love yourself, love the skin. What is it? And really look at the areas of, why don't I love myself? It's not just the weight, because if you can't love yourself plus size, honey, when you get a size 10 or whatever it is, you're not going to love yourself then.
Okay, there's the bell of purpose, y'all. Put some love on the screen. That's real talk by a real person regarding a real issue. Can I get an amen? Absolutely, absolutely. Now, what about this? These women, some of these women that you come with, do you ever see a correlation between the low self-esteem and stuff, and then you see reminders like the face of the stepfather and his verbal abuse and emotional control hovering in the sky above them because they have their own version of him? Because
Yeah.
a lot of women, guys are like, I hear it all the time. Keisha Gooden is watching right now. She was on last week, and Keisha was in one of those relationships, and she look at her face on there. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. But
Mm-hmm.
when she was 19 years old, this guy took her from 100 and what 80 pounds or whatever up to 410 pounds. And she,
Yeah.
yeah, and because he wanted to keep her down,
Mm-hmm.
now who's gonna want you? This sort of
Right.
thing. And so, do you ever find women, Lanice, where um they're in toxic situations
Mm-hmm.
where the reason they're getting uh their self-esteem is getting lower and lower and lower and their weight's going higher and higher and higher is because they're being fed these things from that person who claims they love them, and that's why and they're taking their self-love away.
Yeah.
So what is it about that, and how do we get women to see the real mirror?
So we see all kinds of things. We see where we see it might not be, it could be the stepfather, it could be the father, it could be the mother, it could be just the environment, being in different foster care. There are so many different things that go on with the women. I'm almost not surprised anymore when I hear different stories of what the women have went through, the hurt and the pain that they are carrying. And the thing about it is, we can't say we want to be free, but hold on to the chains that are binding us, right?
Mm,
We have to
mm,
be willing to let that go.
yes.
And that's the scary part, stepping outside of what we are used to. And so it's really coming to that realization, that I have to let that go. And so, like I said, we do the calendar event, but we do a women empowerment event. We do a health fair event. How do you get healthy and whole mentally, spiritually, emotionally? And then we do the physical. We
Okay.
do all of that because we understand that the women are coming from different places, and being plus size, the food might have just been the comfort zone that they went to. And
Mhm.
so it's like, how can we get to the root of what it is
There it is.
that has caused that? But they have to want it. And I had to accept too that everybody, they can say they want it, but maybe they're not ready. And my only job is to plant that seed.
There you go. Yeah, and because a lot of us, in this, we were just talking about this over the weekend here in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this. We go through life like this, and then sometimes I know for me, my as I was growing, I d I didn't go straight from this to this. I
Mm-hmm.
went from here to here, where I was blaming. So I was still stuffing everything and
Yeah.
angry, but now I'm adding blame to it. It wasn't until I let go, because what does this represent? In order to pick something new up, you gotta be willing to lay something old down. You
Right.
only got so much room. You only got so many pockets, you
Right.
see? Right. And that mindset, I mean, a lot of people can complain, and that's a thing too. There's a lot of people that complain about stuff, but they're not willing to change it. You
Right,
know, like,
right.
okay, yeah, they need this and they. But if okay, they get up and create it. But
Right.
but so I get what you're saying. And you know what? And I know exactly. And talk about this for just a second. Then we want to get into your youth FEMA, future
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. But isn't it, I know you can agree. Tell me what you feel about this. Isn't it painful when you can see the potential in
Mhm.
somebody that they cannot see themselves? And
Yeah.
you go and you wonder, how can they not see all of this beauty? How can they not see all of this potential that is right here? I'm
Mhm.
looking at it. It's
Right.
very sad. I
Mhm.
tell people all the time, my birth mother told me, she goes on her deathbed, she goes, I've seen where God is taking you. She goes, and it's going to cause you a lot of sadness because your expectations for others will always be greater
Mhm.
than they have for themselves. And I
Yeah.
know you see that. So I want you to, when we get done at the end, go into the comments and put in. I know the connector is, and here you go, everybody, but she's going to drop it in later. It's www.bigbeautifulblessed.com. Bigbeautifulblessed.com. Get over there and check that out. But now we're going to segue over to tell us about this development of youth program known as FEMA, Future Entrepreneurs Moving Ahead. What do
Yes.
you do? Who do you serve? What's the age group?
Mhm.
And tell us what it entails.
Yes, and so again, that came through serving as well, and that is for youth ages 11 to 18 who are interested or have an idea about a business that they want to start. And so it's a 6-week program. And in the 6 weeks, they learn just the basics of starting a business, financial peace, ideal creation, branding, messaging. How would they do that? And it's important. Again, the main goal of the organization is to for them to explore. Now, some of them will actually really want to do this business full out. And if that's the case, at the end of the whole program, then we work with the parents to get that established legally and things of that nature, because
Wow.
there's costs associated with that.
Mhm.
But in the meantime, I just invite parents to just allow their children that opportunity to explore what it means to run their business. And so at the end of the 6 weeks, after they've learned the basics of whatever business that they want to do, we've had bakers, we've had graphic designers. I mean, the list goes on and on of the type of businesses the youth have. They actually vend at a big event.
Okay.
And at the event, they will sell their products or offer their service. And so they get the exposure of actually starting something and then finishing it out. And so they get that exposure of what it feels like to do that. And what I found that I didn't think I would find was I remember one of my students said to me at the end, "You didn't think that I could do it, did you?" And I
Mm,
said, "I always knew you could do it." I said, "You didn't think you could do it. So how do you feel now that you have?" I didn't
mm.
realize that some of the students just needed it for their confidence. I didn't, and it just never hit me until like that moment happened that some of our children are me, you
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and that this is an opportunity because I'm intentional about offering this opportunity to youth who are in who go to schools or in zip codes that they might not have this exposure or opportunity. I'm
Right.
very intentional about that because I feel like this could be a door for them. And so,
Yeah.
but it never hit me that some of the kids are me.
Oh yeah,
And so,
absolutely. I definitely relate to that because of my nonprofit for kids, which is
mhm,
the Power of We Symposium. And I'm going to tell you this, I definitely want to stay in touch with you because when we do the next Power of We Symposium here in Chicago, I would love to invite you and a group of your kids from FEMA
mhm,
or wherever, to come to Chicago and be a part of the Power of We Symposium. I would love for you to vend and have something there to show people, this program. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It
mhm.
reminds me of junior achievement.
Yeah.
And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was a part of junior achievement when I was in foster care, and I loved it. And I won outstanding young businessman the year that I was in it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, and here we are all these years later. So I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing. Now, how do you find time to work a full-time job
Mhm.
and also manage, run, support, continually make better and grow these other two ventures, Big, Beautiful, and Blessed, and FEMA?
Okay, so right now FEMA is it's once a year program, and
Mm,
so I do that it because it correlates with the event that happens in October. So I just before that event I do the training. So that's how I do that. My goal is actually because I have a curriculum that's based on the national standards of entrepreneurship. So my
okay.
goal this year is actually to get that expanded into the schools so that other people can run it so it can go year round.
Hmm.
So that is my goal this year. But right now that's how I've been doing it with it's just me. And with Big Beautiful and Blessed, because the event is once a year, I have leaders. So I have a leadership team meeting. And
Okay.
so our leaders will help run the different programs that we have within there. This year we did start a junior segment called Positively My Image, which I'm thankful because I have a heart for the youth. So I always wanted to do that part too. And so I have leaders within the group that whatever their heart is attached to, they help run that segment of the organization.
Awesome. So here we are, rounding the last corner, last round, the last lap of the interview, and
Oh,
I want to know. And I want you to talk about this. We're kind of coming back to something from the beginning. When
okay.
you were talking earlier, oh, Keisha Gooden said she'd love to help you.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
so you guys connect on here. Karen, hi Karen from the East Coast, the New Jersey area. She says, I love what you both are doing for our youth of today, who are our future. Absolutely. I'm gonna ring the bell
Yes.
on that. Um, oh, Oh, I just got a speaking gig. Okay, thank ya, thank ya. So listen,
Yes.
let me ask you. You had said you mentioned earlier how you had watched the stepfather thing, the domestic
Hmm.
violence thing, and
Yeah.
you had realized that you had started choosing those kinds of men to date. Um, and you said into your 30s. So can you let us know how is that today?
Hmm.
What kind of relationships have you gotten past that? I want to see, is there hope?
Yeah.
How do you feel now? Um, do you date? Are you
Yeah.
in a relationship? Do you know the difference now?
Yeah.
Because there is that woman sitting out there wondering, who could be scared to venture out because I always pick the wrong kind. So
Hmm.
maybe I'm meant to be alone. You
No.
know where I'm going. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say it, but I have a feeling you do.
Yeah. So it's important that we first restore our identity. And so
Mm.
I'm a woman of faith. So I had to first, before I'm dating now,
Uh-oh.
restore my identity. So yes, restore my identity. And I had to figure out, first of all, what habits did I have that was not serving my future and where I was going.
Mm.
And it takes, like, I believe in journaling, I believe in writing. It's important that we do that so that we can see the habits that we're constantly repeating that are
Mm.
getting us the results that
Mm.
aren't serving our future. We have to be willing to look at the things that make us uncomfortable so that we can get comfortable. And so that means sometimes we have to, and sometimes we have to, um, and I said, like I heard someone else say it, and it was really, really good. Sometimes we have to seek restoration so that we don't walk in offense. But restoration doesn't necessarily mean restoring things.
Okay.
So and I didn't necessarily have to reconcile with my stepfather, but I had to reconcile the situation in my mind. And I did
Right.
that through writing, through journaling, through sharing it out. And so in that, I was able to release those things and understand that that is not my journey, that is not my story. And therefore, I gave myself permission to release it. I give myself permission to be happy. I give myself permission to say no and set boundaries. And it's okay. It's not selfish, it's self love. And in
Mm.
order to love others, I have to first love myself. And so
Amen.
I think we have to get to that point where we understand ourself, and your identity has to be restored before you can attach to anything and anyone else, because I am with me into the end. And so
Ooh.
we talk about getting married, love and honor you until I should die. No, let me love and honor me first until I should die. And then I can love and honor and share that with someone else. And so it's a process. And for I can't say how long it will take for different people, but I know that if you are true to yourself,
Amen.
true to your worth and your love, then you can love again because you love you and you
Mm.
understand it. And when something shows itself to you,
Ooh.
it's okay to say, I can love you from
Mm.
a distance, but I can't
Ooh.
love you within my circle.
Ooh, you giving me chills, girl.
It's so true. And it took
You,
me, that's why
yes.
I'm so passionate about helping, especially women. And I do a networking group once a month too. And I'm just so for women, and I'm just so passionate about women understanding their worth and understanding who they are, because we serve ourselves in our community better when we have our voice and we know our voice. And then when anything doesn't line up to that, we can quickly say, no, thank you.
Yes. Listen, right now I'm putting because one of my coaching clients, Misty Lane, she keynoted at my event here in Chicago just this weekend, and we just
Ooh,
put her back on the plane last night to go back to Dallas, and she is putting together a women's retreat. About I forget what it's gonna be called, ignite something. But anyway, and it's got a part in there about this retreat where it's about writing,
yeah.
journaling, and all that. But I want to put you in touch with her
Mm-hmm.
because I believe you two should know each other and
Wonderful. Thank you.
yeah, and that you might be able to really help her with this retreat and this entire her content and all of that. I just because you all get it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, this, I just want to say this as we close up. A lot of people say, all these women's movements and all this, but you know what? I get it. I love it. And if you think that there's too many women's movements, then balance the playing field and
Great
start
one for you
and
guys.
create one for men because
Yes.
don't hate the player, hate the game. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I think,
Right.
y'all got me thinking. I think I'm gonna start me some retreats for guys because we need to talk about these things. We
Yeah.
need to help each other. And until you
Mm-hmm.
start the conversations, you're not gonna be able to share each other's journey. I need to light my candle off yours, and somebody can come and light theirs off
Right.
mine. And that's what it's all about. Oh my goodness, Lanice McGee. I
Mm-hmm.
hate that we've run out of time, but I want to thank you for
Thank you.
coming in here. Yes,
Thanks for having
sharing
me.
with us. Please, when I release you now and you go back out, before you go on with your day, please
Mm-hmm.
drop all of the connectors. Big, beautiful, and blessed. The FEMA, your personal website, which is lanicemcgee.com.
Yeah.
Please put that. I know that there are people watching now. There are people who are going to watch later that will love to continue this dialogue with you.
Right.
Okay,
All right.
I want to extend an open invitation. If you
Yeah.
ever have anything new on your plate, you want to come back when it's time for these events that come up yearly, come on back and
Mm-hmm.
let us help you share it with the world. Will you let us do that for you?
Yes. Can I just say one thing in
You sure
closing?
can. You can.
Because you asked about like women trying again. And I
Yeah.
just want to encourage the heart to let you know that the right partnerships can shift your entire life. So
Amen.
don't close your heart off to that. Because like this partnership right here, and it doesn't just have to be romantic, but the right partnerships can literally shift and change your whole life. So when you restore yourself, be open to allowing and trusting somebody else in that space.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, get out there and have a great day. God bless
You
you.
too.
And thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank
Bye,
you
Lenise.
all.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have a
Oh
good
my
one.
goodness. You too. You too.
All
I
right.
want to thank all of you for being a part of today. And I want to thank our guest, Lenise McGee, for coming in and sharing with us. Now I want you all to get out there and do what it is we do. I want you to get out there, love up on everyone you can, but remember, you cannot do that effectively until you first love yourself. So please, please do that, won't you? And I am about to do this right here and say to you, hold on, it's coming. Bear with me. Okay, and there we go. I'll see you tomorrow.